told me I don't need to worry. Maybe sometimes we got it wrong, but it's alright. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Search. It is Dee Narelle, and of course I do just want to start out with apologizing to you guys. I know I've been on it and consistent. We're getting a video out every week, but whoever watches my videos may notice there wasn't one posted last week. And that's kind of what this video is about, kind of like a ranty, or I guess just talking it out type situation. So just into why there wasn't a video posted last week is because I didn't have anything in the queue. Some of the other videos that have been posted previously, I was starting to get the hang of getting things recorded and then having stuff on hand that I can get out there. But I ran out of stuff that I had recorded and just wasn't feeling it, so I needed to give myself a break. The last couple of weeks, so not this week, but the last 2 weeks before, I guess my body and my mind were going through something. The first week, it was my body, where every time I tried to wake up at the set time that I'm trying to start practicing getting up so that I can get a lot more stuff done before work, my body was heavy and it literally was like, we're not moving, we're just laying here and we're doing nothing. So it's like, okay, I guess I needed physical rest. But I still did things like every week I do a mobility thing for Instagram. I still was able to get up and record that and get that posted, and then I had video on cue, so all I had to be done is edit it and upload it. I didn't really have to go out and record anything. But then the second week was, I guess, more of a mental break, because I was able to wake up, but I had absolutely no motivation to do things. And the things that I did do weren't very taxing or anything that I had to think about hard to do or sit and spend a lot of time to do. I didn't post a mobility thing because I just wasn't motivated to do it. But what I was motivated was to post a reel saying how sometimes you're not motivated and you don't want to do things, and that's okay. Because after the career counseling / therapy that I was doing, not doing it currently, but what I was doing, came to the realization that it is okay when you need a break. Sometimes you may not notice that you need a break, and your body will let you need a break to listen to the signs. So I've been trying to practice to listening to myself more when I need those breaks, which is why I was okay with it. But then thinking about it, it was like, dang, why am I here again? Oh, it's potentially because I may be starting to get stressed or overwhelmed with things. Okay, why is that happening? Unfortunately, it comes back to my job, which is a job that pays well, okay, but it doesn't allow a lot of time to do other things in life. And again, I will always say this: anybody that is in a relationship or has children while working at this job, I commend you, because I just don't. The time that's needed for that, like, the job is more than 50% of the day. Like, if a person sleeps between 6 to 8 hours of the day, I'm one of the people who I need about 8 hours of sleep to really be refreshed and energized to get everything that I've done. So that's 8 hours of my day. And then I start work at 4, which means that stuff gets started shutting down at home at 2:30. And then from 4 to the next day, 1 a.m., I'm at work. So they split into 3 parts: sleeping, actually being able to do things, and working. And work takes up most of that time, because work then flows into my sleep time, which I can't get enough of the sleep if I want to be able to wake up and get a decent chunk of the day to be able to do things like run errands, and I'm about to start school and studying and things like that. It's like, I would like to have more than 2 hours to try and fit everything into, and then not being able to get everything that I want to get done on a specific day. So then it flows into another day, and then other things get pushed back. And that's where the overwhelm comes through, is because it's like, okay, yes, I was able to take this, and this off, but I wasn't able to do this. So now I have to push this back. But then that still needed to be done first, which is why I had it set for one day. So now other things keep getting pushed back. And then everything that gets pushed back tries to pile itself up on the weekend. But the weekend, my brain and my body kind of be like, okay, we don't have to work. We're not really obligated to do anything. So let's just rest and veg out. So that's a fight between, okay, I'm going to do something, and I completely, like, even when I try to get up and get some things done on the weekends when I don't have to worry about going to work, it's like, okay, we just spent 3 hours doing something, whether it's like going out to eat and spending time with my siblings, or actually got up and like deep cleaned one of the rooms in the house. After that's done, it's like a whole shutdown thing. And sometimes I don't even know it's coming. I sit down to do a rest and be like, okay, I'm gonna take this rest for this little bit of time, and then I'm gonna get up and do something else. And before you know it, my eyes shut, and I open my eyes, and it's about to be dark outside. And I'm like, what the heck happened? I just laid down and slept for 3 hours. There's not enough hours in the day. And then if I sit and try to schedule things out, because of course people will be like, well, you're just not managing your time right. We've seen my calendar before, and my calendar is starting to look like how it is before. And my calendar can kind of be stressful when I try to time out everything. But then there's the what ifs that happen that completely throw the thing off, and then push you back, and like, you gotta work with that. And yeah, trying to roll with the punches, but then these things still have to get done. So it's like, when is their time? And then I recently followed somebody on TikTok and just found her Instagram, where it'd be like, where companies and management is like, don't live here. I don't get paid enough to sacrifice so much of my life. Like, this job is not my career. And then the societal pressures, like, I would really just like to quit and focus on what I feel is more important. But the way life is set up, I have bills, I have responsibilities, I have things that I have to pay for. I would have to find another way to make money to actually do these things. And the time it takes to find another job, it's crazy. And I don't like it. I don't really know what to do. But it's kind of like all of that is what happened why I didn't post a video last week. Because honestly, this video that I'm posting today was the idea that I came up for, okay, I can do a video about how I've been feeling these last couple of weeks. But it was like, that's just another thing that I have to do that I don't just, I need a break. I need a rest. And then it comes back to the thing that really bothers me is I enjoy creating. I enjoy doing the YouTubes, regardless of how many followers. If nobody watches this video, I enjoy taking the time. And as you see, I mean, my office isn't finished, but I do kind of like this setup a little better than in the living room, sitting on the couch or whatever. I like this setup. So we have this, and I like the time of setting it up. It's like makes me really happy when it's like, just thought of an idea, let me write that down so that I can create a video about it. And then with like other social medias like Instagram, like I love seeing the progress with my mobility and stuff like that. It's helping me stay accountable for my health and with my body and everything like that. And then I would like to get back on TikTok, like learning dances and stuff like that, but they're not having the time to like practice the dances and set up the recording and stuff or whatever, because it's like, okay, we got other stuff that we need to do. Which one's more important? And just, I would like to have time to do everything. My sister, when I was talking to her about it, she did suggest maybe like picking days to do each thing, which I'm going to have to sit down, look at my schedule, and figure that out, because I personally think it works better like doing a little bit of something each day instead of, okay, this one whole day is going to be focused on this this, because in that case, if I do a little bit of something every day, then if I miss one day, it's okay and I don't get that behind. But if I put something one day, just do that, and then something happens that day where I can't do that, then I fall behind it. And that's kind of the conflict that I have. I'm gonna figure that out. It was a good suggestion. I'm gonna figure out if that'll work for me or not. But yeah, it's like I always say society and stuff like that, because it does fall down to the teachings that our parents and their parents were taught, which they passed down to us on how we should handle things and how we should deal with things. But then stuff is changing with new information and studies that come out every day. And it's like, but then capitalistic society, when you work in certain places that you work, it's like, yeah, you can complain and do this all you want, but at least in some companies and things like that, depending on where you work, you might be able to make more of a change than the manufacturing, which I think that's the industry that I'm in right now, is more manufacturing. There might be something different on in regards to how you change, because pretty much it's like you talk to somebody and you're renting to somebody and they're like, yeah, this, and like I talked to somebody yesterday and they were like, yeah, I can survive 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And I'm like, and I'm a little jealous of that, because if I try to do that, after doing that for a few days, my body will shut down. It won't let me do anything. Even if I try to think of doing something, now I'll be like, no, we ain't doing that. So I would love to be able to survive off of less sleep. But thinking about it now, I think I've always needed more sleep. I've always been a napper. Like with school, you in high school and middle school and stuff, you go to sleep, you wake up early, you go to school, you do whatever you gotta do, you do your sports and stuff, you come home and stuff. And then it was like I was taking a nap, which, unless somebody woke me up sooner, I think my naps have always lasted an hour or longer. It's nothing new, but at least some of the stuff that I've been looking at, apparently there are some people that need 8 hours of sleep or even more, which I have had days where I've had a 10-hour sleep cycle. Like I checked my Fitbit, I remember what time I went to sleep and see what time I woke up, and it's like, you just slept for almost half of the day. And I was like, oh, I must have been tired. And I think when I do sleep for 10 hours, it is because I'm tired, those extra couple of hours. But on a regular, for me to wake up and feel re-energized, like I've been using my Fitbit to try to see how it's tracking, and even though I haven't been able to get a lot done on these days, the days that I wake up and actually feel refreshed, motivated, ready to tackle some stuff, those are usually days where, yeah, you slept about 8 hours. So it's like, okay, but how do I work that in with the lifestyle that I'm currently living? Like, I know things are going to change in 2023 because I just not a plan. I am definitely leaving the country for a year to study abroad. That's the situation that's happening next year. So of course things are going to change, but something needs to happen in the meantime, between now and when that happens, because people shouldn't have to live like this. Now, it would be different if this is something I was going through to work towards goal. Like if I know that people who have businesses or are getting into their career and stuff like that, that they may, and I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm just going based off of things that I've seen and heard and read, but that they go through struggles where it's like they be stressed out and they be overwhelmed and this, that, and the other. But what motivates them and keep pushing them is because it's towards the long dream. And I mean, I know that I have a dream that I am working towards, but there's some aspects of life right now that are not contributing to this dream. I mean, I guess I can find ways of contributing. Like the job that I work right now pays the bills and I'm able to save. So it technically is contributing. But isn't there a way that it could be more contributing without me having to sacrifice my life and sacrifice my health? Because sleep and rest are health, and health is wealth. Like, because I don't want to put the company that I work out there or talk about the company, at least while I'm still there, there's a certain phrase that they say that I'm not going to say it because potentially people who watch this video would know exactly who I'm talking about. And of course, until you find something new, you're not trying to get in trouble and get kicked out of what you have so that you have a situation in the plan. But it's like the saying is contradictory because the amount that we work doesn't benefit your health. If that's supposed to be important, and if that's what you're telling folks that you care about. I don't know. This definitely is more of a ranty video than I thought it was going to be, but apparently I needed to get some things off of my chest. Therapeutic. So I thank you, YouTube, and I thank whoever's watching this for listening to me. And of course, if you feel the same or have any suggestions, I'm all ears. We can make this a conversation. Because honestly, I don't know what to do. Like, the conversation I was having with somebody else, and I know that we're coming from a good place, is like, you're going to have to give something up. You're going to have to sacrifice something to do certain things. And they were mentioning, because I said I was starting school and I try not to get overwhelmed with the issues with not having enough time in the day and trying to get everything done. And they were like, well, you're going to have to sacrifice something. And it's like, what do you sacrifice? When literally the only thing that I try to do is keep my body moving so that I can keep my health in a good place, make time for studying, make time for family, because though I'm an introvert, I am very family oriented. They are my backbone. They are my lifeline. I need time with them. It's not a want. That's a necessity for me. Those are the three main things that I do. What am I going to sacrifice? But you know, we were at work, so you can't get super, super deep into things. But that is a serious question. It's like, I don't know. Like, I know certain situations work for people because it's their end-all be-all. They make their life fitted. But because it's not the life that I want, is that why I'm struggling and having so many issues? I don't know. That's actually first time I may have thought of that question, and it could potentially be why. Like, you're struggling because it's not where you want to be. You're not willing to accept this. Which, if somebody's willing to accept the situation, that is you, perfectly fine. No judgments. But for those of us that aren't, how do we deal? Is this a sign that it's time for me to make another appointment with my therapist and start talking to her again? Because I feel like I need a good cathartic cry, but it just hasn't come yet. And I don't know, you guys may not be able to tell on this video. I'm getting a little watery-eyed here, but I don't feel like it's going to overflow. And me being an emotional person, I think I need to cry, but I don't know, it's not coming out. I don't know. But yeah, with my 1 week break from YouTube, I just wanted to come and tell you guys why, do a little rant, get some things off of my chest, and we're going to get back to it. Month of August, this is the month that I plan on getting my camera, so hopefully video quality gets a little better. I'm very excited about that. Definitely going to make a video about that once I get it. But yeah, there's that. Gonna go ahead and end this video. Again, anybody have any comments or questions or want to start a conversation with me, I'm always open. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro. So yeah, see you in the next video. Let's continue to figure out this life thing together. Bye.
Has a reason, baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If the passion's gone